It's summertime in Ireland, and all over the country local festivals are in full swing and beauty queens are out in force. The banquet tables are laid, the tiaras are polished, and hairdressers are on full power. Many of these festivals are run by volunteers who just want to keep their communities alive. But for most people taking part, the high point will always be the crowning of the Queen.
None of this is your traditional beauty pageant. This isn't about a precise specification of female beauty. This is about wonderful, warm, funny, strong Irish women who are able to be themselves.
I get sent for the Irish Times to the Rose Tralee. There's lots of people from all over the world there, and it's just, you get to see how important it is in the different centres around the world. I mean, they take it so seriously. The contrast between what I've seen in, you know, the smaller festivals around the country, they don't take it so seriously. It's a bit of a laugh. There's women, all different types of women, shapes and sizes of women in those festivals, and they're just having the crack and they think it's a bit of fun.
Tonight, it's all about crowning the Charleville Cheese Queen in Cork. We head north to County Donegal, where the little town of Muff bursts into life as they crown their festival queen. And we sail into the beautiful east coast town of Wicklow as they crown their regatta queen. In the little border town of Muff, County Donegal, the young men are eager to get in on the action with an impressive show of strength.
Here we go! Keep her going! Well done! Look at that!
I've been living in Muff for about 10 years, and this is the first year I've really got involved in it. I'm glad I have. It's gas what goes on, really, compared to anything that I knew before.
The women are no slouches either.
I'm originally from Dublin, and I never experienced anything like this. The sense of community, the sense of crack, the sense of just get on with it, there's no pretension. People are just being themselves. They're out there with their neighbours, with people who they've grown up with all their lives, so I suppose there's not much room for pretension when you've grown up with everybody around you. They all know who you are and your seed, breed and generation.
In Muff, the homemade go-kart races are a huge attraction.
Can those with the small pedigree dogs get yourselves ready?
I'm born and bred in the area. I was away for 10 years, so I've just come back again, which is why I've sort of, you know, got back kind of into the community again. I can blame my mother, because she's very much into other community groups and stuff in the village as well. It's your pride in your village, in your area, and we wanted to sort of show it off at its best, and it's a great community.
During the festival in Muff, the local pub, the Squealing Pig, is at the heart of the action, and it's here that the festival queen will be crowned.
I never slept a wink last night. I was so nervous. But I don't know whether it's the adrenaline has kicked in. Like, really looking forward. It's going to be great fun. But you know, like, this event in itself pulls one of the best crowds at the festival. So you know there's going to be plenty of people there that you know. So you just want to make an idiot of yourself. Too much.
Well, it's a great community thing. Great to see everybody out enjoying themselves and just having a laugh, really. Getting on with everybody. Everybody gets on with everybody anyway, but...
The girls are hoping to wow the judges later when they take to the stage with their secret talents.
Get my hair done now, and then makeup, then I have to go and get that done, and it's a lot of preparation. And then I'm doing line dancing, so it'll be a good crack, and I have to keep my heels off for the line dancing, so don't fall on my face or anything.
Can I just say, just wait and see?
It'll be worth the wait.
Oh, it's actually pole dancing.
I have to say, I think personally, special praise goes out to Maria in Muff, because she seemed to be the cheerleader, the pom-pom waver. I get a feeling Maria's been through a few of these old competitions herself a few times, and she's a bit of a dab hand and a pro.
That's the side.
So what are you doing with it?
Anything doesn't matter, just up and out of the way.
Right.
I was really impressed to see the amount of girls that took part and the different sort of girls that they are.
My godmother actually entered me for, I'm a leader in the Muff Girl Guides, so she entered me on behalf of the Girl Guides. I'm really nervous. It's really nerve-wracking, and I don't know. Kind of not knowing what's going to happen tonight's the worst part. I'm playing the fiddle, so hopefully that goes well and I don't mess up on it.
The Rose of Tralee, you don't actually have to have a party piece. You're not judged on it. I didn't feel any particular pressure to do anything because I knew it wouldn't make a difference, I suppose, at the end of the day. And it was more about me being comfortable when I got up on stage, when I, stood up there and told the world about who I was. If you're comfortable enough to get up and do something in public, then you should absolutely seize that opportunity and do it, because it is your expression of who you are.
Pole dancing in Muff, something I never thought I'd be watching in my life. Definitely not. It's, you want to be safe, you want to be a sort of an idea of womanhood that is kind of looks lovely, talks nicely, says the right things, and I think that's what it's all about, really.
Over on the east coast, in the beautiful town of Wicklow, the boats are in the water for the annual Regatta Festival and the chance to see the Air-Sea Rescue Team in action.
The Wicklow Regatta Festival, it's the 133rd festival now, and it's probably the oldest in Ireland, and it's a really big part of the community here in Wicklow. When I was younger, I suppose, Bank Holiday Monday was always the main day for the regatta, and the rowing is so big here in Wicklow. We had the All-Ireland here 2 years ago for the rowing, and it's such a big part all the way up along the prom. I'm sure you can see the people behind me. The prom is just full of people. We have people coming down on the train every single Bank Holiday Monday purely to watch the rowing and to get in on the regatta festivities.
I was the Queen of the Regatta in 1964. You went to a dance and you were just picked out, all around the county Wicklow. I think there was about 21, 22 girls in it that night. I had a white dress, black trimming on it and white shoes. It was very, very exciting. Well, in 64 it was a lot more then, if you know what I mean. So that was it.
And 40 years later, the crowds still come in their droves.
I think these festivals are a wonderful way to get immigrants to come home, even if they're only coming home for the week or the 2 weeks around the festival, because they remember it. It's a part of their life. It's something when they can meet their friends and be involved. Because I think it's lonely when you go away. Even if you make a new life for yourself, there is always that longing for home.
One of those returning to her Wicklow home is Dorcas, who's gone to college in England.
Now, what are you going to get done today?
Dorcas is one of 10 girls hoping to be this year's regatta queen. She's finding it tough living away from her family and friends.
It was hard to leave everyone behind because when you come home, even though you're your friends, it's not the same. You feel like you've missed out on things. But now that I've been home for the summer, it all goes back to normal, and then you go off again and you feel like you're missing stuff again. Because even though over there you make friends, but they're just never going to be as good as the friends that you've had from primary school that you've known up all along.
So when did you decide to do this?
Well, I don't know, kind of a spur of the moment thing. I've seen it on the regatta page, so I said, I think I'd like to do that this year. Got a bit of courage one day.
Did you? Yeah. So you need it.
Now today I'm thinking to myself, oh my God, that was a great idea 3 months ago.
Are you panicking now, are you?
Yeah.
Oh, it's good. It keeps people in the town and keeps the interest in. And the girls are great now to do it as well. Like, it's hard to get people to do things nowadays, so.
It does remind me very much of the time when I was growing up in the 1980s, where I think if you'd asked any Irish girl or boy, especially from the countryside, are they planning on emigrating, the answer would be yes. And while it's sad to see people leaving, I think every so often there is an emigration thing that comes around. And it's not necessarily a financial thing, it's not necessarily a professional thing, although of course that has something to play, but it's also this idea of there's bigger out there, there's better, there's something more for me, or there's something where I can be me. Whatever that is, I'd say an awful lot of those girls maybe haven't decided who me is yet, but they know that there is an opportunity to be another part of themselves that's not going to happen in a small village.
By far, definitely. This year, I would say the girls are just so relaxed, and it's lovely because obviously with a big group of girls, you know, rivalry, and it can be a little bit catty, but no, I think they're all just enjoying the whole experience, really, and putting nerves aside. Everybody is over 18 this year anyway, aren't they?
Yeah. I'm 21.
You're the oldest, are you?
Coming up in part 2, the Charleville Queens go wild on the bouncy castles.
Ready, go!
And it's walkie-talkie hell in Muff. In County Cork, the town of Charleville is ready to stage its festival after a break of 21 years. Brenda is hoping to be crowned queen as a stepping stone to the ultimate title, the Rose of Tralee.
I thought this was something new, the cheese queen. I mean, who's ever heard of a cheese queen? This is brilliant, it's so funny. And then next thing I'm signed up for it and I find out that there hasn't been a cheese queen in 21 years and it turns out that it's this big thing that used to go on all the time. So there's like all this history behind it that I had no idea about. Everyone in the town has been really, really good. And I think they're all looking forward to it as much as we are. So it's nice to see there's a life around the place because they put so much hard work into it lately, getting the town back to the way it should be.
Charleville, you see, is the home of cheese. So we're celebrating the fact that this is a real town with a real community. And that's quite evident in when you see the girls that have entered into it. They're working here in the local shops and other towns around the place. So by entering into this, it is their way of saying, we are Charleville people, we are proud Charleville people, and we are proud to be associated with the fact that Charleville is the cheese-making town.
We're in the town park. We're heading in for the cake cutting ceremony for 350 years of Charleville. It's all very exciting.
For any aspiring queen, the right footwear is essential at all times.
Yeah, you're wearing flats. Yeah, you deserve to win already. Sinking. Just a little bit. I brought flip-flops, but of course I didn't wear them.
See, we're in Ireland and it's going to lash and you're going to be in a field and your 6-inch heels are going to be sinking down into that mud. So, and your hair is going to be ruined and no umbrella can fix this slanting rain that we get in this country, which is just incredible. So, of course, if it's a lovely day, the lovely girls are all going to look much more lovely. If it's lashing rain, you know, the drowned rat syndrome comes into play.
I always get into bouncy castles. When my boys were 3, I have beautiful twin boys, Murray and Dylan, and when they were 3, we were having, you know, a load of friends and families. So they were going to be older kids. So we had 2 bouncy castles. We had a little teeny one for the little ones and we had a bigger one. And I went in both of them. I love it. I like to let my inner child out, and I think we all should.
When people are taking pictures of women, like whether it's getting their exams or it's in a bouncy castle or it's a group of women just together in a park, the photographers often tell them to jump. You'd never get a photographer asking a load of men to jump up in the air for anything, so I always find that very interesting. But women, we jump, we spring into the air, we leap around, you know.
Aces. I haven't done that since I was like 5. That was brilliant.
Well, it's going to be very lavish because we have a 4-star hotel now in town, as against what was there 20 years ago. So it was quite interesting that things have changed so much in the 20 years, but at the same time, it is still the Charleville Cheese Festival that we're holding. It's going to be a big night. The tickets have sold exceptionally well, so we're looking forward to a fabulous night. And Crystal Swing are providing the music, and the fact that they're well known as well within the community around here, it's going to be a dinger.
Luke did all right. Yeah.
As the girls of Charleville head for refreshments, at the other end of the country in Muff, County Donegal, the threatening clouds could put a damper on high spirits. The festival headquarters are deserted, and at the top of the town, the stewards are busy lining up the parade.
It's always really hard to get girls. There's a couple of them that I sort of persuade quite a lot, you know, talking away and plead and get on my knees and, you know, they'll do it. But actually this year now, in fairness, there was at least half of them were willing. Yeah, they're, oh yeah, we'd love to do it.
Hold up that there.
But it always takes a bit of persuading. They kind of want to do it, but they're like, should I really put myself up there? But then they're great and they get really nervous beforehand, but they love it.
You can see by the fact that they have trouble getting numbers for them a lot of the time. It's not as though, which I'm quite happy about, there's dozens and dozens of women lining up. They have to go out and try and find them a lot of the time. So that would sort of tell you its own story. My mum was involved a lot in community work and community weeks, and we used to have a Miss Sandy Mount actually. Jesus, I'm only thinking of this now. I entered Miss Sandy Mount once. What am I thinking? It was for the total laugh. I entered Miss Sandy Mount. I remember I went and I got my hair done and everything, and I was wearing this polka dot dress. Now, I didn't win. And that probably, now that I think of it, turned me bitter against all these things. So I'm probably just jealous of them all, and I just wish I'd won Miss Sandy Mount in whatever it was. So yes, I have to admit I was tempted once, but that's the only time. Honest, Governor, definitely.
We're 15 minutes behind time, and we should be going 8, 7 o'clock. Mike up in the square there. You can't get the mic going, or you can't find the chorus mic to get. We have to get that there going before we move the parade up, you know. So that's what the whole back is. It's all right. We're ready to go.
At one stage, we did have 2 or 3 people talking at once, and it's like, ooh, you know, we can't hear. So it's just a sort of a very, very basic training on it, though, you know.
What's going? Ready to go? Good enough, take the pass first there.
And finally, after much ado, they're off and marching.
Not only does it say a huge amount about the community that's behind it and about the cohesiveness of that community, but I think it also says a lot about Irish people in general, that we have a great tendency, and this is something that I've seen when we go abroad, you know, we're seen as people who enjoy, you know, having a bit of fun, and we're quite light-hearted, and I think that's a perspective that's shared kind of across the world about Ireland in general.
Big round of applause, please, for there.
We always give prizes. We have an overall winner prize, which is actually in memory of one of the original committee members, Celine Redden. And then we have 3 other prizes for like most humorous, most topical, most colourful. We kind of sometimes change what it's actually for, depending on what we feel like at that time. But it's great. The kids, especially for the kids love it. So, and if they can get their photo with the plaque and take it home and celebrate, then it's all worth it.
Well done. I'll get that off when you're finished. Brilliant. Well done. He's won this. He's won
it. There is an awful lot going on here in Muff. There's a great football club, there's a great Gaelic club. For people who are into that sort of thing, there's a Cayley club. And yeah, there's quite an awful lot of community stuff going on.
Yeah, we always get asked about the Muff diving club, but we don't have an official Muff diving club in Muff. It is a presence on the web. We don't know who's done it. I would love them to get in touch and let us know, and we can maybe, you know, see what the crack is with them. But it's not an official club from Muff.
Down in Wicklow, it's time to go golly fishing. Gollies, according to local folklore, are a breed of crab peculiar to Wicklow town. They come out of hiding to grab onto old ham bones and chicken legs past their sell-by date. Every child in the town hauls in their catch, and the queens reward them with shiny medals.
Just going to hand out medals. Anybody who's caught any gollies and have them in their buckets, we'll just make sure they give them a medal, just to see. There's a little lad over here. Very good. That's your bucket? I'm going to give you a medal then. Oh, look it. Oh my God. Well, there you go. Brilliant stuff. All right.
Only 2 minutes to go in our Wicklow Regatta Festival Golly Gower fishing competition. And just keep an eye out for our regatta queens, ladies. You'll see them with the sashes. All beautiful young women.
I think that an awful lot of rural communities are going through a tough time at the moment. I don't think I'd ever say that they were dying, because there is always a backbone to every single community. And while that backbone may be getting slightly older and may need to pass on the torch at some point, I do think it still exists.
Coming up in part 3, it's time for the big interviews in Charleville to see who will be Cheese Queen.
Hello, everybody.
And up in Muff, the girls reveal their secret talents. In Wicklow town, the bunting is everywhere, the streets are spotless, and over in the Grand Hotel, the queens prepare for a grilling.
All I'd say to you is just stay relaxed and enjoy it. That's what it's all about. So when you go into the room...
Oh, the crowning of the Queen is a major part. The crowning of the Queen now is 60 years on the go. It's 60 years and we have always had a regatta queen.
All right. They'll probably ask you all about your...
We had one year where we had dreadful storms, where the regatta couldn't take place, the actual rowing, but we have always had the crowning of a queen.
At least then they'll get to know you a little, all right?
As the girls take their place on the waiting list, the pressure keeps on coming.
Just chat to them and tell them a little bit about yourself. Robert Doyle there, he's the MC. Oh, there she is going in now.
Hey, you're welcome. Be nervous though. You okay?
Yeah, I'm fine. I'm always wondering about the judging and what it is about, and I'd love if someone was honest enough to break it down.
Just trying to think of good, suitable answers, just to impress them.
I bet you they weren't saying, you know, and what is your bra size, and do you want world peace?
There's fresh water on the table in front of you. And when you go in, just introduce yourself to the panel.
Yeah. I think the scariest judging criteria was definitely at the Wicklow Regatta, because my God, who knows what level of inquisition went on behind those closed doors.
I'm a little bit nervous, but hopefully you go okay. I'm excited too, so.
I think if I could ask one question, it would be, what was your favourite day of your life so far? Because I think that would tell so much. Was it their first communion? Would it have been a significant birthday? Would it be something that involved a boyfriend? Would it be leaving school? I'm not sure. I think it would tell us an awful lot about them.
Back in Charleville, Brenda's heading for a mani-pedi, and who knows, she might even get some juicy gossip on the side.
So having all the other girls come in here and all the locals, you must get all the gossip around here, do you?
We do. We'd hear a lot in here now.
Go on.
But
everything. You haven't heard the others' party pieces or anything, no?
To be honest, I actually haven't really heard much about what all the other girls are doing.
Yeah, we're all keeping it hush-hush,
I think everyone is, to be honest.
I think girls will compete as to what colour school bags they have. And we all know women dress for other women. We all know women choose their hair and their makeup or whatever, primarily to get one over on the bird next door. So I do think these girls are very, very competitive.
That's fab.
It doesn't feel like that when you were in the midst of this incredible group of girls. And I don't think that it's about the competition. The idea behind the Rose of Tralee Festival and behind a lot of festivals is that it's something that's kind of indefinable. So when something's indefinable, how do you compare it to something else?
That's kind of the goal, because whoever gets to be Cheese Queen gets to go on to do the Cork Rose after this.
Really?
Yeah, so we go
like
to
the actual Cork Rose?
No, you go up to the heats for the Cork Rose.
Would you like to be the Cork Rose?
Sure, who wouldn't? Sure, we all grew up watching it, like, you know.
Now, my dear.
Thank you very much.
Would you be able to pass me a white lock?
Can't beat a good cup of tea.
Do you know what? The international runways backstage, it's cocaine, diet pills and champagne, whereas in Ireland, it's the cup of tea.
In the ballroom of the Charleville Park Hotel, Cork radio star Eric Griffin puts the girls through their paces.
How many have I got? 3, 6, 9, 11. Surely you know where you are at this stage. Come on, guys.
Who's number 3?
I think I'm 4th. I'm 5th. I'm last.
Stephanie, you're doing the leg bags, are you?
Yeah.
You're 3rd.
So I'm Cassie's now.
I think all those girls were having the best crack ever. They had this week of being glamorous and this week of making new friends and being out of their normal lives. I'd say it should be the best fun.
Don't forget to stay straight. Come out a bit.
If I was up there, I think probably my fear would be that I would fall over in the high heels because I'm not good at the high heels.
Ladies and gentlemen, your Charleville Cheese Queen finalists. Right, 6 off that side, 6 off that side. 6.
As well as remembering their complicated stage directions, the girls still have to go through the interview ordeal.
Yeah, I'm next in for my interview, so I'm just a little bit...
Yes, the nerves are jangling.
But of course they're nervous because they know that being themselves, who they really are, isn't necessarily going to get them over the line.
Oh, God. Hi.
The hens are shaking at the moment, so they are. But hopefully it'll be alright when we go inside anyway and meet the girls.
If you really were being yourself, you wouldn't be that nervous, you know? You'd have to feel prepared and like, I put this version of myself across and this version of myself might be the one that allows me to get a crown placed on my head and some flowers on my arms.
I'd say very few marks are based on the interview, possibly with the exception of the Wicklow Regatta and the Blue Jeans Festival. But the other ones, I wouldn't even say they mark.
At the Squealing Pig in Muff, the crowd has gathered for the spectacle of this year's crowning. It's a perfect night for the Lady Mayor to wear her chain of office with pride. But all eyes are on the title and the tiara. The lippy better be perfect.
I would like to welcome the beautiful young ladies who are going to take part in the competition. Give them a nice big round of applause, please. Thank you.
The 8 girls, ranging in age from 18 to 29, are putting their best foot forward to try and be the Queen of Muff. Local radio star Frank Galligan will take control of proceedings.
Hello, everybody. A very good evening and welcome to the majestic metropolis of Muff. The fact that I can use such alliteration in a sentence proves that, unlike the rest of you, I haven't touched the drink yet. Now, if you're wondering why I'm so calm and relaxed and feeling at home here, I grew up in Donegal with 8 sisters, so you think this crowd phases me? No. This is just like being at home in the Galligan household. I would like you, in the first instance, to say a big hello, please, to Maria McColgan. Maria, if you join me, please. You entered this competition before.
12 years ago.
12 years ago. And 12 years ago you were?
17.
17. So I added 12 and 17 and I got 22, so you're 22 years old.
Not a day over.
Not a day over. Lauren Harrigan, if you join us, please. Hi, Lauren.
I'm representing the Muff Girl Guides. I've been in them since I was 4 years old and went up through the ranks, and I'm now a leader for the girls. Lauren would strike you as a leader. You'd kind of nearly do what you were told, wouldn't you? As she's been given orders since she's been 4. Kate, come this side of them. Calm yourselves. The one thing that strikes me about Kate is that if some fella comes in and he's a bit cheeky and he's about 4'10", I'd say you'd put manners on him, would you? I could try.
Oh, you could try and you'd do it well as well, I know.
As it heats up in the Squealing Pig in Muff, down in Wicklow, the girls are trying to stay calm before their big moment in the spotlight.
Just really enjoy it. You have all done so well, and myself and Carol are so proud.
It's been absolutely fantastic. It's been a pleasure.
Up in the blue room, the girls get to know seasoned veteran Tony, who will escort all of them to the stage. Our MC in Wicklow is celebrity photographer Robert Doyle.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. How are we all doing tonight? They're very good on that side. Wasn't too good on this side. Ladies and gentlemen, you're all very, very welcome to the 133rd Regatta Queen Ball. Isn't that unbelievable?
It's time for Tony to offer his steadying arm to each of the queens.
You just listen to me going, right? Yeah. Show the voice.
Thought I was relaxed after the interview, like with the judges, but now I think standing in front of all your friends and family, people you don't know, it's starting now to make me shake. Oh God.
Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together, please. Leanne Sullivan.
I couldn't think of anything worse. I'd rather stick needles in my eyes. I would just feel like, what am I doing here? I probably wouldn't look good in any of those dresses, so that's probably why as well.
Tony's energy seems boundless as he keeps the girls on their toes.
Put your hands together for Paula Murphy. You're part of a rowing dynasty. Tell us all a little bit about the history of your family and the rowing.
My whole family is involved in the rowing club. My granddad, my uncles, everybody goes back years. I wrote my auntie even, and loads of cool girls down there.
Dorcas Cockrell.
Yeah, but this is such a great idea. No, it's not.
How are the nerves?
I'm absolutely shaken.
Don't feel bad, so am I, so am I.
Coming up in part 4, Maria lets loose with her famous pole dance. And it's decision time in Wicklow, Charleville and Muff.
Give a round of applause, please, Aisling McCallion.
It's time for the girls in Muff to perform for the judges.
And earlier on, I mentioned this instrument here that we had specially flown in from the North Pole. And we're going to have a performance now. In your own time, Maria, you're going to come out here and give us a demonstration. Calm yourselves. Maria is now getting into position, as the actor said to the bishop.
Maria was magnificent. I'm sure many people in Muff must wonder how do they solve a problem like Maria. But I think she solved her own problem by wearing high pants. She was memorable. Memorable.
Oh, yes. In pole position. Excuse the pun. I'm very impressed. Thank you. We're going to hear a real fiddle now. Lauren Harrigan. Yes. She's getting rosined up here. Rosin the bow. And she's going to do a polka. Silence. Tune us a wee bit. Thank you, everybody. Appreciate it.
Lauren adds fiddle playing to her long list of talents.
Thank you, Lauren.
Back in Wicklow, it's a last-minute pep talk for the girls. And Tony limbers up for his escorting duties. The ballroom is packed with proud mammies, friends and well-wishers. It seems that this year's contest is a very tight race.
One person is going to win all the prizes, but there really are 10 prize winners here tonight. They really are. They're fabulous girls. And I hope the 9 that don't get to wear the crown will carry on enjoying the festival and they won't be too disappointed. They really are lovely girls. So I'm going to hand you over to Sharon now for the big moment.
And the 2011 winner is Paula Murphy.
Ah yes, this year the title goes to a girl who is rowing in her blood. It's a very special moment for Paula's granny.
I would say it's amazing. I never thought I'd be picked. Like, there are so many great girls here, and just to be picked, it's an honour. It's brilliant.
Proud mum and dad there. Give them a round of applause as well.
And up in Muff, County Donegal, it's decision time.
Our 2011 Muff Festival Queen is the lovely and very musical Lauren Harrigan! Whoa, whoa, whoa! Our fiddle player. Well done, Bet. I'm so delighted for you, Lauren.
All the little Muff Girl Guides must be so proud of their leader.
Oh, 2011 Muff Festival Queen.
As the excitement in Muff has reached its climax, down in Charleville, Brenda is in the Last Chance Saloon.
I mean, it's great to be taking part in this. I mean, I remember growing up watching like the Rose of Tralee. I mean, what girl doesn't want to be the, I was going to say Cork Rose, but not every girl wants to be the Cork Rose, do they? But I did. And it's kind of my last shot. I'm nearing the age now. That's what the Queen's going to do tonight, make me look younger. So that should keep me going. And tomorrow I might be one step closer to being the Rose of Cork. It'd be great. So, there we go. Time for bed. Oh, beautiful. Time for a good night's sleep. Night.
It's the day after the crowning in Muff, and our new queen comes out to mingle with her subjects.
It's actually really weird because people keep smiling at you and they look at you and be like, oh, it's the Queen, and then congratulating you. It's quite strange, really strange.
Now that Lauren's the Queen of Muff, it makes me the King of Muff. I've already changed my Facebook status and all for it and my name in it. So it's, I've already got comments and all from my friends, so we'll see what the reaction is when I come home. Like I texted my dad this morning, he just replied, I don't want to know what you had to do to win that.
Over in Wicklow, Queen Paula is presented to her public on board the parade of boats through the town.
For this cheers we got as Queen, yeah, it's my daughter Paula. I was very proud of it. She's the third actual member of the Round Club that is the Regatta Queen. So we're proud of that too.
With the tiaras safely stowed in the boathouse, our Regatta Queen has no time to rest on her oars.
6, 7. The town lives on the Regatta. As you see there with the parade, the town thrives on the Regatta. It's mostly family. It's all families, and it's brought on from generations and generations, and you know, that's the way it was brought on.
Sadly for Paula, today her team finished way down the field.
Yeah, we were raging, we didn't come anywhere, but sure, we tried our best. We rode our hardest, so. But yeah, it was great, it was really good. Hopefully next year we'll catch them, so yeah.
Down in Cork, time is running out for our Cheese Queen hopefuls.
It's the first Charleville Cheese Festival in 21 years. So there's no pressure on anybody. But to say that it brings the community together, I'll tell you now that the hall is packed. Tonight, girls, this is rock and roll. You're the stars. Ready? Right.
Here we go.
There's a certain cynicism, I suppose, about the idea that everybody makes friends through festivals and through something like the Rose of Tralee. For me, the experience that I've shared with them is so unique that it definitely bonds you.
Ladies and gentlemen, your Charleville Cheese Queen finalists.
I think the girls have absolutely been influenced by celebrity in the way they choose their makeup, in the way their hair is done, in the colour of their skin, in the details of their dresses, everything.
From Lee's Central Group in Charleville, there's Aoife Copps.
Nobody was sprayed tangerine, and nobody was wearing a dress cut down to here with fake bosoms, which is perhaps that sort of look. So no one was getting carried away like that. They were just normal women being themselves.
Is there any man on the scene at the moment?
There isn't, no, Eric.
No.
Single and free.
Single and free.
Here comes Stephanie, and to win the crown, she's prepared to torture her boyfriend in public.
Give him a big round of applause. Are we ready? Okay, talk to me. Leaving Cert is coming up pretty soon.
Yeah, 9 days. Not that I'm counting.
9 days, not that I'm counting, Eric.
Your heart does go out to them a bit, some of them, because you can see it means an awful lot to them, and that this is a really important time of their life, and that how people judge them in this way is really important for their own self-worth.
Age 17, I would have absolutely have adored being up there in a dress that possibly didn't fit me too well, but I felt great in. Maybe I have 3 hairstyles going on one head at one time that is just itching for a tiara to finish off beautifully. It'd be fantastic. It's your 15 minutes of fame.
Now, time for Brenda's last throw of the dice. It's a poem.
Let me explain why I should rule cheddar. You see, for me, with cheese, the redder, the better. For if it's curdled or processed, cottage or goat, it's Charleville cheese that really floats my boat.
There was a sense that they had all made friends, and that was lovely. And I'm quite sure at the end, when you're up on stage with your sash and your makeup, there's a part of you going, oh gosh, I hope I win.
You can see just in the eyes, like, of some of the contestants that, you know, not getting that crown at the end of this is really just not good enough. It's not an option.
Thank you.
Oh, me nerves. The Charitable Cheese Queen 2011 is Lisa McAuliffe.
This was not to be Brenda's year.
Girls, I was going, who's going to be? And you know, I was really excited for the other girls, and I didn't expect it at all. I still can't really believe it. My boss is like delighted, and I'm delighted for him as well, because like he was really supportive, and he was like helping me get my nails done, and he made signs for me and everything. So I'm delighted for him, and I'm delighted to represent Denny's Bar, because you know I have worked there for 4 years, and I love the place. Like that man has put me through college at this stage, so.
And obviously it's a big economic thing. I mean, that's what comes to it as well. Every one of these festivals needs some kind of focal point that draws everyone in and gets people spending their money. So that's what it's a lot about. I probably think more now than ever, it's really important.
I love the sense of community of knowing the people where I live. And that's what you get when you have festivals like this.
It's so important to get out and volunteer, get involved with some small festival or small organisation and make that difference.
I still want a sash. I will always want a sash.
All over Ireland, committees are already planning for next summer.